What is going on, awakened ones? Thank you so much for being here. If you've been on this journey of love of wisdom with me, I love you tremendously. Thank you. I truly appreciate you wanting to be here and listen to this content. If you're new to this channel, my name is Brittany Fontanez, and what I do, I assist people into awakening their power to find the infinite love within themselves. If you find this content very beneficial, please subscribe to my channel and also share this content and follow me on Instagram for more uplifting things that I do just to empower you every single day. Now, today's topic, I want to confirm that it's nothing but beneficial, positive content that I'm going to be sharing with you on this topic. So do not get scared, do not get fearful. A lot of people do, just because of, what religion has really brung about into our mindsets. But other than that, I want to talk about entities today. Now, there's nothing wrong with entities. There's no such thing as bad entities. But I want to clear something up really quick. There's a difference between entities and there's a difference between demons. Now, here's the thing. Demons are very, very, very rare to get attached to you. Entities are attachments. They're just spiritual attachments that we are very unaware of, that make us function in a way that we don't understand ourselves. Those are entity attachments. Now, with demons, they're completely different. If a demon can only be attached to you if it's summoned by you by satanic, worship, or, black magic that someone has put onto you. So demons are very rare, but that's not what this topic is about. The reason why I want to talk about entities is because as we're developing more, you awaken ones, as you're developing more into your divine self, you're going to start realizing that there's a lot of spiritual movements. There's a lot of spiritual things into your energetic field. And it goes beyond what we can even perceive with our own tuned eyes as a human being. But understanding that there's more to understanding yourself as an energetic being than there is as a human being. Now, there's so many different type of entities. You got thought form entities, you got past life entities, you got ghost, and you got your present entities. Now, ghosts really are intriguing to me. They're like confused entities. They haven't really transitioned fully to their next life, so they're just here trying to attach themselves to people so they could get energy and try to figure out what they're here for. So ghosts are really rare as well, but I'm not saying they're not real. They're rare. I've heard some really stories from people, but they're very real, but completely rare as well. And so let's get into these three most important entities. The first one is you got past life entities. Now, these past lives can be brought down to your family line. Like they say, as you're awakening, you start learning that when you start healing yourself emotionally and spiritually, you start to heal your next generational line. So these past life entities could be caused by what has been attached to that past life that your soul has been attached to into that human being, and it could be passed down because it probably doesn't have something to finish, or it probably doesn't have it has something to do that it hasn't been ready to accomplish. So the thing with those past life entities, the reason why they attach to us is because we're on an energetic vibration frequency that's the same as them. That's why they attach to us. The reason why any entities attach to us is because we're on that same level of vibration that makes us a component that they can attach to. And for that reason, that's why some things that we feel and think keep building momentum, but we don't understand why they keep reoccurring, even though we thought we have, released them from ourselves, and especially from our auric field. So, but you have those past life entities, and then here's the most biggest entities ever. You have thought form entities. These thought forms can attach to you by having a certain thought that you continuously think. Like for me, I had this this energetic vibration where everyone was always telling me what to do with my life. Everyone was always so demeaning. They always thought they knew what's best for me. They always had to check up on me, see if I was okay. They always were worried. They always were telling me this, do that, do this, do that. And I always felt like I was being dictated. And I didn't understand why I had this energy. And I realized because I had so many of these thoughts keep reoccurring, as like my father's telling me what to do with my life, my mother's telling me what to do with my life, my sister's always trying to be my parents, and both are telling me what to do with my life, or everyone's just telling me what they think is best for me. And I just couldn't stand that energy. Yes, I hated it. I hated it. But I'm gonna get into what happens when you hate entities and what happens when you love entities right at the end of this video. But let's get back into thought form entities. These thought forms, entities, only attach to you because you're on the same energetic level as them, and that's how they feed off you. The same way with fear. When you fear, you're opening up a gateway for so many entities to attach to you. Now, don't get fearful about this. I'm not saying you have to be on edge all the time, because that's you just worrying. I'm just letting you know that things could just attach you to the point that entities can't hurt you. Just know this, they can't hurt you. They're not physical. But they can really disrupt your focus and what you feel like is best for you. And they try to destroy your way of thinking and your mindset in order for you to move forward in a collective way that feels very beneficial for you and your surroundings. Now, the last one is one that's very, common. You got present life entities. What I mean by that is that when you surround yourself by certain people, when you do surround yourself with people, they have entities themselves. Like I said, like you read in all the spiritual community, energy is very contagious. That's why when you surround yourself with certain people for a good amount of time, you become like them. If you're around people who smoke a lot of cigarettes, you probably end up start smoking cigarettes. When you're around people who gossip a lot, you'll probably end up start gossiping. When you're surrounded by people who judge so much, you probably end up judging. Now, those entities that are attached to other people can be attached onto you, especially if you're a light being, especially if you're really in tune with your spirit and really like doing the inner work. You're a light to a lot of those entities, and most of those entities are low vibrational, so therefore they kind of like sit in the dark. So therefore when you're a light and you shine so bright, you're just like an easy target. And I don't like to say that, but I'm just being real with y'all, that you're a light, especially when you know you're a light being and you have something to offer to this world and you know your higher purpose. Those things will really want to get attached to you to disrupt your energy. Now, here's the thing. Now, since we're done with all the entities and everything, these entities can't hurt you and they can't distract you if you do not allow it. But here's a big thing of how to let go of these entities. Now, the way that you can let go of them is by going to a spiritual teacher, going to a healer, going to Reiki, going to a psychic. If you feel like you can't do this on your own, I suggest those things to you. And you could also do meditations as well, guided meditations or your own meditations, or you can use essential oils or use a lot of crystals like I do. I use frankincense, which is my favorite essential oil. It's very healing, and I use a lot of different crystals. I mostly use clear quartz, I mostly use amethyst, I mostly use citron, which is this one right here. I love using these things. They're very therapeutic. And but like I said, if you feel like you can't do these on your own, definitely suggest going to a healer. The reason why I do these on my own, because I already know I'm a healer. I've witnessed it in my life, even through my own words. I've witnessed that I am a healer, so I'm able to do this work on my own. But here's the thing: in order to let go and release these entities, you have to acknowledge that they're there. Like my video I did yesterday on acceptance. You have to accept things the way that they are. Truck passing by. You have to accept that the entities are here. That's the only way you can acknowledge them. And you can really understand that they're there is when you realize these certain thought forms or these certain emotions keep reoccurring when you know they're not serving you anymore. That's when you know you have entities attached to you. And the only way to acknowledge it is by loving them, by understanding that they had a purpose to serve at that moment in time in your life, that they attached themselves to you, and when you were at that frequency that they resonate on. Now, I had to learn this. I hated that I had these consistent thoughts and emotions that weren't serving me anymore. I couldn't stand them, but I had to learn. Hating makes you propel forward to it a lot quicker, and it makes it, marinate on you a lot more. When you hate something, it's only going to keep reoccurring. What you resist is what persists. So when you actually change your viewpoint on these things, you'll start to love it. And you'll start to see their purpose of why they were there. And you'll start to see that they served a purpose for a reason. Now, I'm going to give you some suggestions on how I was able to let go of some of these entities. I did a meditation actually this morning. I had those recurring thoughts again. I had thoughts of why people telling me what to do with my life, why people don't understand, don't want to ask me how I feel, rather than thinking that getting a job, getting money, getting all this is better for me, or just having thoughts about my exes and how they treated me and how I felt unworthy, and all these feelings and thoughts just kept reoccurring. So I was like, you know what, enough is enough. So I did a meditation. I did my regular meditation where I just sit or I lay down, and I just kind of clear out my energy, and I just sit in this. It seems like it's darkness, but it's a comforting darkness, and I allow my guides to come in and let them pretty much raise their light onto me, meaning they just kind of beam their own light onto me, and then all of a sudden I let divine come in and just let divine put his hands on me and just heal me completely inside and out. And then as I was doing that, just my regular routine of clearing my chakras and everything, I have this thing where I imagine that I'm going deep within the ocean, like deep within the ocean. But deep within the ocean is just this light, what is it? It's a light blue or color. It's pretty much like the sky, like a really light blue. And it's just very healing. And then I just let the water wash through me, just cleansing me completely. And water is very, very healing. Very healing. But that's what I do. And then all of a sudden, when your body goes numb in meditation, that's you detaching from your physical body. And that's you just becoming your energy itself. That's you just becoming your light body itself. So I was doing my regular meditation. I was doing that. And all of a sudden, I told myself, I had an intention that I was going to let these entities reveal themselves to me. So I detach and I allow myself to just float up and get out of earth and just go into light itself, go to divine's light itself. And then as I did that, I end up in this space. It wasn't dark, but it was navy blue. And all of a sudden I felt my light disperse into my energetic field, to the point that when it just expanded out into my body and just around me, the entities revealed themselves. And they were dark entities. What I mean by dark, they were just all black. And they tried to touch me, but they couldn't, because I had my light expand. It was just like my protective barrier. And also when they tried to touch me, I let out my hand and I was like, you served your purpose. I don't allow you to disrupt my energy field anymore. I thank you so much for what you have taught me. I thank you so much for what I needed to learn from you and what you try to protect me from. Because entities, the only reason why they try to distract you is because they're trying to teach you something that you're not being aware of, so you can allow it to let go. And you can only understand that when you look at yourself from a state of love and compassion. And that's what I did. So I was like, it's your time to go. I release you from my energetic field, and I release you from my life. You have served your purpose, and I thank you so much, and I love you dearly. And then in doing that, all of a sudden they stopped in the middle of trying to touch me, and then they just kind of like turned into light. And when they turned into light, they were just like floating away, and they dispersed into like sparkling dust. And immediately when I saw that, I was like, I felt a huge relief lift off of me. And each of these entities brought up memories, brought up, anger, brought up sadness, brought up so many of these different emotions. But these were the things I was feeling and thinking. And they were attached to like cords, like these energetic cords of like my exes. They were attached to why my parents treat me the way that they do, and why they did, and all these different memories popped up. And I'm like, and then one by one, I just loved them. And they just, I released them, and they released themselves. And the biggest thing I learned once I got out of this meditation, I feel so light now. Like so light. Like my shoulders are a little bit aching, but they're aching because I released something from me. So when they released themselves, I started to realize entities are only in your life because you allow them to be there. You allow them to destruct you until you acknowledge that they're there and you're ready to let them go. And understand, nothing can hurt you, nothing can disrupt you unless you think it's there to serve you. And until you're ready to release them, that's when you're ready to spiritually mature and to being your own light, to being your own divinity, to being your own focus and knowing your way of life. And understand that nothing can attach to you unless you want it to be there. It's simple, but yeah, it is a process to get through, because we have a lot of things that we haven't allowed ourselves not to heal from, but to learn from. So just know, entities are just serving their purpose, and give yourself the opportunity to awaken, to understand they're only here to teach us what we have not allowed ourselves to learn. And until we learn what we feel like, these memories that keep popping up, these emotions that keep popping up, until we learn why they're here, then they have served their purpose, and then you'll realize, okay, I don't need this anymore. I could let this go. And the entity can't hurt you. The entity will just be like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go too. When you give love, that's when it can let itself go. Love is the power to everything. That's why I do these videos. That's why I call it the love of wisdom, because love is everything. Love creates satisfaction. Love creates relief. And understand, you're not alone in this process. You got guides with you. You got divine with you every single day. Work with what you have. But understand, you have the power to not only create the life that you want in the way that you feel you deserve it, but you have the power to feel satisfaction and relief the way that you want to feel it. And you can release all these things by understanding that you can let go so easily, because it's okay to want to feel happy rather than to feel and think these things that you know are not serving you anymore. So till then, you guys, love yourself so you can understand that you are just transforming, and all these things are just teaching you. They're just opportunities to teach you more about yourself and to grow into more of your divinity and more of your light, so it can expand, so this world can see how bright you shine. So until then, you guys, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, share this content if you feel that it is beneficial. I feel that it is. That's why I do these every day. Also follow me on Instagram, hit that notification button to receive new videos every single day. But until then, you guys, I'll see you on the next one. Stay blissful, remain authentic, and namaste.